if you see me with a caffeinated beverage after 2 p.m, just know I am surviving, not thriving. Hey friends, it's me, Amy Rebecca, your internet bestie for all things personal development, intentional living and dream chasing. I know I said I was going to change my YouTube intro to something a little less cringy, but so many of you were like, don't do it, you are our internet bestie. And you know what, that's the best compliment I've had in a really long time, so I'm sticking with it. Couple of things. Apologies first for whatever weird wild lighting we've got going on throughout this video. I need to get new filming lights. Also, we're at this weird point in the day where the sun has like not quite decided what it's about to do, so at any moment we could be like blinded by the light or plunged into darkness. Secondly, at this moment as I am filming this, I currently have 19,560 subscribers. It's so close to 20,000. Thank you to the multiple hundreds of new subscribers I've gotten over the last week, as well as to all of my long-standing subscribers as well. You know I love you. But I am currently trying to get to 20,000 because I promised my friends when I did I would buy a little like celebration cake and we would take it to the pub and have prosecco and eat cake, and you guys are actually making that a reality. We are so close, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. My hair is really irritating me in every possible way today. I'm overstimulated by everything. So now feels like the perfect time to pull up a spreadsheet and deal with numbers. It is time for my June budget reset. I got some things to admit this month. You may already know what I'm gonna say if you watched my May project pan update last week. I got some pretty wild numbers to throw at you this month also. My girl. But some successes along the way that I'm really pleased with. So here's what we're gonna do. As per always, we're gonna reflect back on what I just spent in the month that just went by. Then we're gonna budget for the upcoming month, and then we're gonna check in with my side hustle challenge and take a little look at how much money I've been able to bring in on top of my regular income. If that sounds like a party to you, then go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Also, as per always, if while you're watching this you feel suddenly inspired to start your own monthly budget, I will link the spreadsheet that I use down in the description box. It's by CoPlenty. I love their spreadsheets. I'm an affiliate, but I was using their spreadsheets a long time before I became an affiliate. So, May. Let's talk about it. As you can see, I did marginally just about come in under budget for the month. I was so determined that I was not going to overspend in May, and you know what, I only came in under by £1.84, but it's still a success. As you can see by this little graph, I did a really good job of hanging on to my money right up until the very end of the month, and then it plummeted out of control. Let's take a little look at my predicted expenses for the month, like my budget, versus what I actually ended up spending. So groceries, I budgeted £15 and spent £8.99. As I always have to say every month, this is not the total cost of everything I ate in May. This is just top up groceries, you know, that you pick up in between the big food shop. Eating out, I budgeted £30 and spent £21.89, so I came in under there as well. Petrol, I budgeted £0 and spent £0 because I still had plenty in my tank from last month. Car maintenance, £25 for my car insurance. Yes, £24.99 for my car insurance. Gifts, now hang on a moment. Oh, I see what I've done. I've created a gift sinking fund, and actually that's just made my life more complicated than it needs to be. Do you know what I do is every now and then I make like little adjustments to my spreadsheet, and some of them stick and work really well and just create like a better flow to what I'm doing, and some of them just create chaos in my life. So gifts, I actually budgeted 30, spent technically 20, but then cash stuffed the other 10. And the discrepancy I had there with that initial number, oh my gosh, I just need to be involved in everyone's business at all times. The discrepancy I had there that I went in and changed was that I created a gift sinking fund, whereas actually it's easier to just file everything under one category of gifts. So that's why I went and changed that. For health, I budgeted £35 and spent £64.99 because I got myself some supplements. The jury is out on whether or not I feel 10 years younger, but I'll let you know. Beauty treatments, I budgeted £50 and yeah, I spent spent all of that, as well as some of the money that I'd previously cash stuffed because I got my nails done and I got a haircut. Clothing, I budgeted $11.99 and ended up going over. But that's fine because all of that £61.99 was covered by my Vinted balance. Makeup, I budgeted £16.98 and okay, I've got £51.61 in here. That is technically not true. I went out to Boots with my mum, and because I was trying to like be like an extreme couponer about it, because I lose my head a little bit when I get into Boots because you can stack up coupons, and there's not a lot of places in the UK where you can use coupons. And if I lived in the States, I say this all the time, I would be a couponing queen. I would be on that TLC show, Extreme Couponers. I'd have the binder. Girl, I would be there. But we can't. There's not a lot of couponing opportunities in the UK. But in Boots, you can use like your number 7 coupons, and my Advantage card gives me 10% off, and then I stack up all the other things on my Advantage card and it gives me a real rush. It's like a drug. Anyway, to facilitate all the girl math I had going on with my coupons, I needed my mom and I to put our transactions together, and then I paid her back what I owed her. It was not all makeup. Some of it was hair care, some of it was just toiletries, but because I didn't have the receipt to like eke out each individual category, I just stuffed it all under makeup, but it wasn't all makeup. That was a really long-winded story that literally no one asked for. You are so welcome. Skincare, budgeted 0, spent 0. Again, not entirely true. Hair care, budgeted £9, spent £10.09. Again, not entirely true because some of that money I spent in Boots was hair care. And I bought a new shampoo. I've been using the same shampoo for about 6 years, and I thought I was going to go to my grave using that same shampoo. And then all of a sudden, I was influenced. They got me. The influencers, they influenced me. And honestly, I don't know how I feel about this new shampoo. I feel like it's made my roots greasy. I don't know. I've only used it once, so I'm reserving judgment. She says with the most judgmental face you've ever seen. Okay, toiletries, I budgeted 0, spent £16.39. I have spent quite a bit on like toiletries, hair care, makeup this month, purely because everything ran out at once. It was just one of those months, you know. Books, budgeted 0, spent 0. Takeaways, budgeted 10 and spent none. Hobbies, budgeted 196 and spent £203.49. That would be on the ever-increasing plethora of hobbies that I am collecting. At this point, I'm going to dance class, I'm going to a Pilates class, I've been going to the gym, obviously. I've been paying for a boot camp that I go to twice a week. So yeah, that all adds up. Charity, I cash stuffed and I donated my regular direct debit to the Born Free Foundation for £17.50. Transport, I budgeted 25 and came in just a little bit under at £21.80. Trips, budgeted 0, spent 0. Social, budgeted 170 and spent £155.49, which I think is pretty good because I went out a lot in May and I did a lot of kind of bigger ticket things. I went out to a bottomless brunch, which even if you get the non-alcoholic option, those are still pretty pricey. I went to a music festival. I did some other thing at some point. Drinks, budgeted £14, which must have been for 2 glasses of Prosecco, because that would equate £14. But I didn't actually buy any drinks in May, and I feel great about it. Oh, I don't feel so good about this. £5 I budgeted for coffee and I spent £17.75. Okay, but look at me. I am tired. The last few weeks, your girl has just been living off caffeine and enthusiasm for life. Personal development, budgeted 0 and spent 0. Unaccounted, this is the recently added category for if I just lose money. I don't know why this keeps happening because I'm not even dealing in cash anymore. It's easy to lose track of money when it's cash. I don't see how I'm losing track of money when it's on my card, and I have the statement in front of me, but lo and behold, another £7.99 lost to the ether. Subscriptions, as per usual, £26.99, and miscellaneous was £7.30. So I would have come in over budget this month, except that I had my Vinted balance to counteract what I'd spent on clothes, and therefore I finished up the month with £1.84 still in my account. But you know that the rule for 2025 is that I'm zeroing out my account at the end of every month, making the most of every penny. So, decisions. What am I going to put that £1.84 towards? Actually, let me tell you, I had the opportunity to sign up for another pageant that is taking place in 5 weeks from now. I like to say that it's because I trust the universe. I think it could actually just be the ADHD, but when something's on my mind and like I feel it in my gut that I need to go for it, I just can't say no. And I couldn't get this out of my head, and I put out a TikTok and I asked everyone, like, what should I do? And 99% of people were like, girl, yes, go for it. Now, of course, pageants are extremely expensive. I've only just paid off the last of what I spent in the last pageant in March, but I have been able to find a pageant sponsor, which is fantastic, and I've decided that all of my side hustle money from the next 5 weeks, oh my gosh, I really need to get on top of this. Anyway, all the side hustle money is going to go towards the pageant, as well as this £1.84. Every single penny helps. The question of whether I can side hustle approximately £500 between now and the pageant weighs on my mind night and day, because I've already signed up at this point, so it's like there's no going back. So I did say this in last week's video, if you've ever considered buying something from me, whether it's my book, one of my planners, my cosmetics inventory spreadsheet, or if you want to buy the Co-Plenty spreadsheet, like I make a little bit of money every time someone uses my affiliate link. Anything that maybe you've thought, oh, I'd like that, I'll get around to purchasing that one day. If one day could be within the next 5 weeks, that would be really great for me. Only obviously if it's something that you have been wanting to buy and that you are in a position to buy right now, obviously. So now let's move on to budgeting for June. And it's going to be a little bit of a chaotic month, I'm going to let you know ahead of time, so just lean into this with me. Okay, so I have already input quite a few numbers ahead of time, so I already have my income for the month, as well as all of my usual cash stuffing, expenses and bills, but I've also put in a heck of a bunch of other purchases and expenses that either I have already made, even though it's only the 4th today, or that I know are coming up in this month, and I want to get them down ahead of time so don't forget about them. So first, let's take a little look at my income situation. I had my annual increase last month at my part-time job. I don't know for certain how much it's going to be moving forward because it was prorated last month. I don't know. This month it ended up being an additional £20, but I think next month it could be closer to 24. We'll see, I guess. So with that, my salary came to £1,210. What I am gonna do is stick to a £750 budget and use that additional £20 to cash stuff somewhere. I know that £20 is neither here nor there, but I am just really conscious of not wanting to start going down the road of like lifestyle creep, and that is the exact same reason why I only withdraw £150 from my business account each month, because I have started making more money from YouTube sponsorships and my YouTube ads recently, and I know that I can make my budget work on my £750 a month. So I don't want to start adding to that and giving myself more money to kind of just go out and spend when I could save that money instead. And it probably sounds really pedantic for the sake of £20, but welcome, I just am pedantic. Look at my spreadsheet. I take this very seriously. My side hustle income, this is what landed in my account in May, minus tax, was £63.14, and then again that £150 from my business account. So my total income for June is £1,423.14. Yeah, so let's map out my budget for each of the different categories and then as we go through I can explain to you how I've already spent so much money and the month has not even started yet. So groceries, as you can see, I've already spent £5.70. I'm gonna give myself £15 for that. Eating out, I've already spent £20. I know I'm gonna be eating out at least once more this month. I'm gonna put 40 for that. Petrol, I'm only cash stuffing 20 because I still have money in my petrol cash stuffing pot that I can draw from as well. Car maintenance, £190.72. Weirdly, this is great news for me. So my car tax is due this month. I pay for it biannually, and I think that came to like £170 something, if I remember off the top of my head. The good news is, because of my diligent cash stuffing, I was able to just draw that out of my car maintenance cash stuffing pot, my little sinking fund, and I didn't even have to worry about it. I was like, oh yeah, I have the money for that. I had the money for that. I had a car expense and I just had the money for it. When have you ever known that to happen? My car is the biggest drain on my finances. So to have an expense come up for my car and to just know that I've got it covered was such a weight off my mind, and it feels so freaking good. And this is why I'm such a huge advocate for cash stuffing, and this is why I am so obsessive when it comes to moving my money around and stuffing it away, because it just takes the pressure off. So I paid that. Also, I had to pay my car insurance. More good news, friends. I think there was an error in the system because my car insurance renewed this month and they sent me my renewal quote and it was cheap. I used to work in car insurance and I'm here to tell you that your renewal quote is a rip-off. They send that out to you on the basis that they know most people aren't going to cancel the renewal in time and they're just going to get stung with whatever cost they send out to them. They're not even trying to make it competitive. But my renewal came back. It was £120 cheaper than any other quote that I could find online, including from the same insurance company. So I'm pretty sure it was some kind of error in the system. So I kept my mouth shut. I was like, renew. So I am saving a little bit of money on my car insurance every month. I love that for me. So £190.72. Fab. Gifts, I will be cash stuffing 30. Why is that not already? I know why. It's because I put that sinking fund thing again. Well, we're just going to change that back to gifts. There we go. Okay. So gifts, I'll cash stuff 30. Health, I will cash stuff 35 for my contact lenses. Beauty treatments, I'll cash stuff 50. Clothing, I've already spent £59.59. But again, a lot of that has been covered by my Vinted balance. Makeup, I do not think I will be buying any makeup this month. Skincare, I've already spent £24.99 on my Tretinoin. Hair care, well, I don't know. If this shampoo is making my hair greasy, I'm just gonna go and buy my old shampoo. I'll put it in the budget just in case. Toiletries, I've already spent £6.23. Do I need any more toiletries to go on holiday? I don't think I do. Let's put it as 10 just in case. Books will be 0. Takeaways, 0. Hobbies, already spent £100. Yikes. And then I'm gonna have 2 more dance classes, 2 more Pilates classes. I'm gonna put it as 140. Charity is £17.50. Transport, let's just put 5. Trips, oh yeah. As you can see, I've already spent £1,090 and 2 pence on trips. I'm going to a destination wedding in 2 weeks. I had to pay £800 off that. I also booked to go away for my birthday, so I had to pay for those flights. That came to another 180. And then I booked a voucher mystery holiday, and I don't know if I'm excited or terrified or remorseful about it yet. If you don't know what a voucher mystery holiday is, you pay £99 and you pick a date, and then they just say, here's where you're going, enjoy. More on that to come because I haven't found out where I'm going yet. But yeah, it has been a very expensive month for me. Again, it's the 4th. But again, I had all of this cash stuffed, so I'm not stressing about it. I will take about £250 with me on my holiday this month, so let's add that in. Social, how have I already spent £104? It's the 4th. You haven't even gone anywhere yet. Social, yeah, went out for coffee. Social, oh yeah, booked in for brunch with the girls from Bar Pilates. Social, oh yeah, I'm going to see the Book of Mormon with my dad, so that makes sense. Let's put social as £150. Drinks, I'm gonna say 0 again. Coffee, 7. Personal development, 0. Unaccounted, let's freaking hope it's 0 this month. And then $26.99 for my subscriptions and miscellaneous. I guess wedding stuff would be miscellaneous, so I'm gonna put £15 for that, just in case. Now the good thing about June is that I will be away for a week. That money is already cash stuffed aside, so that will take a little bit of burden off my day-to-day budget. Does your brain feel fried by all of that? I watch other people's budget with me videos and they're so calming and they just have such a handle on everything, and mine feels so erratic. Does this make you feel better about your budgeting? Because that's my goal in doing this. I am someone who does not have a huge income coming in. Some months is a scrape. I'm trying my best with my side hustles. I'm making a little bit more money now, like I said, from my YouTube channel, but I'm trying not to spend it. And I think it's quite realistic. I think a lot of times when I see like budget with me content, it's from people who make a huge amount of money. There's a girl I follow on TikTok. She's making like 54 grand a month. Cheers to that, but girl, I cannot relate. So could you just let me know if you like these monthly updates, and if so, what about it do you like? Is it relatable to you? Do you find that it helps you with your own budgeting? Just so I know, like, am I achieving anything here? And don't forget to subscribe. Okay, moving on, we're gonna do the side hustle challenge. So this will be what I earned in May, not necessarily what hit my bank account in May, because there is sometimes up to a 30 or sometimes even like a 90-day delay on when certain things pay out. So here's where we're at. Affiliate links made £6.80. I made £7.50 selling one of my This Time Next Year life planners, which are available on Amazon, and I will link in the description box. I made £113.75 on digital products, which is great. That is up from last month. I made a profit of £4.15 on my Etsy print on demand shop. That is a lower profit margin because I paid for stock up front and I haven't been paid by Etsy for all of it yet, so we'll see that come into play in June's update. And then that's all. I didn't make money anywhere else. That brings me to a total of £132.20, which I'm really pleased with. Far cry from the 500 that I need for the pageant, but it's a good start. On that note, I'm going to leave a list of all of my digital products down in the description box because I don't talk about them. I'm not a good salesperson, but you can have a little peruse. I've got like a Declutter ebook, I've got a no buyer ebook, I've got obviously my cosmetics inventory spreadsheet that I show you every month on my Project Pan. You can get a digital or physical copy of my book, as well as a digital or physical copy of my planner that I designed. It's a really freaking good planner, guys. I have ADHD and OCD, so when I tell you that my planner ticks all boxes, if it can handle my brain, it will work for anyone. Do you feel like you need a glass of wine after that? Because I think I do. Please remember that you are enough just as you are. I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.